Hello, you guys. It is Jude here with the Pretty Coach Oracle Messages. This is part two of the Rising reading that I did. This is going to be the more educational, informational portion. Not saying that the reading probably wasn't, but I feel like that was more like maybe confirmation for some people and or insight and new information for others. So I mentioned in that reading for the cards that we had, like the Grand Trine Blessing, the Yard Destiny, Venus Love, and Mercury Mind. I wanted to really go to the book to explain that a bit more for those who are interested in learning a little bit more about that. So the reason why I'm smiling is because when I went to go get that information, I have the book here, and then I was pulling from another deck to use as my bookmarks for each of these cards to explain just one of the first things that I've read so far, just with the Grand Trine Blessing card, is just so in alignment with not only today's rising reading, but yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, I would really highly suggest that you go watch yesterday's rising reading. Okay, let's just hop into it because this is already going to be probably a little lengthy. So I did not look at the cards. Just so y'all know, I feel like I have to say this because to me, this is what makes me so excited. And I know that spirit is definitely present. All right. So for the Grand Trine Blessings card, for those who may not have seen the first video, or if you did, you may not remember what that one looks like. It looks like this. Okay. Here's what it can mean. And I'm going to try to just go to like some of the quicker parts. But I also feel like there's a really important thing here. So it says this. A grand trine is when three planets aspect each other at 120 degrees. This creates an equilateral triangle. If you are to draw lines between the three planets, it says these planets will usually be in signs of the same element. A grand trine is considered to have an easy flowing energy. So when it says being in the signs of the same element, that means it could literally be two water signs, but one could be water. I mean, one could be Scorpio, the other one could be Cancer, but they're both water, right? Because the element is that of water, or that of fire signs. You could pick and choose which fire signs. You could pick and choose which earth signs and air signs as well. Okay, it just means that the signs don't have to be exactly the same, but the element is going to be the same, which would make for usually a more easier flowing partnership, relationship, friendship. Okay. All right. So let's see. It says a grand trine is considered to have an easy flowing energy either in the natal chart or by transit, and to be an incredibly lucky aspect. Here we go. When the grand trine card presents itself in a reading, be assured that you are entering a time of easy flow, or that at least many of the impediments, which is another word for blockages or obstacles, you are experiencing are being lifted. This speaks of a period of harmony and ease that may inspire you to take the path of least resistance. But it is best that you keep your eye on the prize and not let go of your original purpose, okay? It says, do not leave it on the shelf. There's a possibility that your success may be lost if you do. Okay, I'm going to go back to another portion of this because it really stood out to me. The way that these blessings are going to flow, the example that they gave, it says like this. It says the only downside with a grand trine is that those influenced by them tend to become laxed or so contented that it leads to laziness or inertia. And for those who may not be aware of what inertia stands for, it means just like no movement at all. Okay. It says it is like a child who is given everything he wants and thus doesn't know the values of responsibility or appreciation. Now, in the reading from yesterday, I need y'all to go and watch that because Spirit had me to say something about how for those who have sacrificed um things like stability in order to seek their higher purposes, spiritually speaking, and things like that. These are the people to me who are about to be blessed. Not that they haven't been before, but I feel like they're really about to be experiencing a whirlwind of blessings, okay, because of the sacrifices that they put forth before for seeking the treasure within themselves. That's first and foremost. This to me, even the like also I did also mention in that reading about how some people have had to struggle for so long, or they've had to work really hard for so long just to make ends meet, just to have the bare necessities, the bare essentials, where other nations of people and other types of people, maybe it seems like things have been given to them or it's come so easily, that's being transferred to those who were once struggling, those who were once in like that Five of Pentacles energy, who had it freaking hard when it comes to financial stability or stability altogether, house, home, car, work life, okay, health. All of that's changing. So now I said in that other video as well, and I'm gonna stop saying everything. I also mentioned that I felt like the wealth of the wicked was being released now to those who are considered righteous according to the Most High God. So now, for those of us who have had to struggle, now we're going to enter into this rest, this energy of things flowing so easily, okay? So even though technically they're saying it's a downside for those who've already been through the struggle, okay, it's going to be much needed. Moving on. That's all I'm going to say on that so that I don't take too long. But let's look at the bookmark that we had here. It says the first chakra, sacral chakra, first of all, if I'm not mistaken. That's this right here, the sacral chakra. I happen to be literally burning a candle. I mean, not a candle, but an incense of sandalwood, which speaks to and excites the sacral chakra. It says Archangel Michael. Michael is a protector. Michael is a guardian, okay, of the people, of the Most High, as a matter of fact, of the chosen, of the elect of the Most High. I'm thinking about a scripture right now that's coming to me. I don't remember, it might be in Daniel 11 or Daniel 12, but it talks about how the Archangel Michael is going to stand in the last days or what have you, or and pretty much protect the elect, keep them, secure them, the 144,000 to me, okay? So that's beautiful energy. I also feel like this is going to be a blessing when it comes to some people as it pertains to childbirth, sexual energies, okay? And also stability. If I'm not mistaken, this is also considered the root chakra as well, sacral or root, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But with that being said, this is definitely about that stability energy coming up. Okay, so I'm going to move on. The next card that came out was the Yard Destiny card. So let's go get that, okay? But before I move on, let me just go ahead and read this particular bookmark. It says, Door to Spirit. And it looks so beautiful. The door is open. There's beautiful orbs of light just flowing in and out, it looks like. There's an angel like right there, or the dove, excuse me, which is about peace. I see this gold. I see the flowers. All of this is representing some type of growth, spiritually speaking, maybe, and even like just a fresh wind, a fresh anointing. So beautiful. Here we go. It says, the ancients believed that the yod was an area of fate in the chart, and not always not a particularly favorable one. It's also called the eye of God or the finger of God. Mm, mm, mm. I feel like for some people this is about judgment as well, because remember, y'all don't know. If some of you may know, some of you may not. If you watched the video from yesterday's rising reading, then you already heard me talk about something like the tower warning or the storm warning or whatever. And I feel like that's what that could have been too. I was saying it's like the tower card, but it also could be like judgment here. And so now with this energy of the eye of God or the finger of God, I just really feel like this is something that the creator is doing for people, for a specific set of people, period. The yod is a peculiar astrological configuration in a chart. It is a triangle formed by two planets that are 60 degrees apart, while both are 150 degrees from a third planet. This creates a thin pie-shaped aspect. The yod configuration is linked to the Hebrew alphabet, yod or yud. It is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which makes me think about the completion energy, full circle type energy, faded energy. Okay. Um, which has mystical implications signifying the omnipresence of the Most High God and often denoting humility because the energy is locked in that triangular configuration, causing matters to be faded and often difficult, but not without their rewards. So while it may be hard, while it may be rough, while it may have been a struggle, reward is also coming with that. Beautiful energy. Here we go. It says, when the Yod card represents or presents itself in a reading, it means that the situation may be chaotic or may soon turn that way. It will be hard to see any clear path because of this chaos, but it will be impertinent to weather through it all. This is not always bad because it is a process of finding what works and what is not functioning. And now will be the time to be scaling things down and weeding out what is unnecessary. That's like separating the wheat from the tares to me as well. But more than that, this card is about finding your own truth, even though that truth may not be reflected through others, or it may not necessarily easily be seen. You may wish for more support when this card comes up and will have to manage this all by yourself. Another development may turn up, and that is that you will prefer to work it out on your own without any interference from others. You excuse me. You guys, you really need to go and watch you really need to go watch the reading about the reading I did for yesterday, period. Just go watch it because a lot of the messages that came up in that reading, they're coming up again in this one. And I'm saying that because this is making me think about the meditation or the rest and rejuvenation energy that kept coming up throughout yesterday's reading about how we need to take time basically to connect and tap into spirit and hear directly from source rather than listening to the opinions and things of others. It also talked about how I felt like certain things were going to be happening where it was going to cause people to be shut down on purpose, specifically chosen people, the elect people, so that they can be open to hearing from spirit. Moving on. This reading is dead on. And this is not even necessarily a reading. This is just me going more into detail about what each card means. This card can denote a time to voyage inward and come to your own truth. There really isn't anyone who will have the tools to figure this out more so than you at this time. So now may not be the best time to take advice from others. Your inner knowing has it already. You just have to take the time to process the information to come to your own answers. It also says at times when the Yod card turns up, there will be health issues that need to be dealt with and solved before moving forward. It can be indicative of autoimmune disease, celiac disease, fibromyalgia, thyroiditis, everyday allergies, and other ailments. Although these diseases would not be life-threatening, they could still be a crucible of sorts with a need for drastic changes to be made for relief or for symptoms to subside. So still, it's like finding out you're sick in order to be healed. Okay, that's what I'm getting from that. You're gonna find out that's not for everybody. This is for some, whoever this resonates with. Some of you guys may find out finally what ailments you've always been having. Okay, and as a direct result of gaining that knowledge and that insight, now from there you can learn what steps you need to take to heal yourself. So while that's kind of gonna be chaotic, scary, right, storm like, obstacle like, if your mindset is right, if you understand that this is an opportunity for you to whip yourself into shape, okay, then this could be truly a blessing. Whew. More positively, this card means that circumstances are good for achieving your goal, but be prepared for sacrifices on your part, and not just one, but several. It will not be an easy path, but it is a time to expand your focus. You have a desire for greater awareness, which will come through dedication. But patience and adaptability are necessary in making the situation work to fulfill your greater purpose, the one that you were born for. And again, the bookmark is Door to Spirit. Moving on to the Venus Love card. Let's see what's here for that. That's the Mercury line. Venus Love card. Oh, wow. There are actually two cards that I picked up. One says Goddess of the Moon, which came up. The moon energy showed itself a lot in the reading that this is kind of connected to. And the other card is hostilities. Kind of makes me feel as though there's going to have to be kind of like a fight, maybe, for this love, or a fight for, doing what you enjoy. Let's see. Venus co-rules the signs of Libra and Taurus, but the energies function differently in these signs. In Libra, Venus works best in the fields of beauty, social balance, and romantic love, while in Taurus, Venus stands for our creature comforts and accumulating nice things. In both signs, Venus is very partner oriented. There is a great need to unite with another when the Venus card presents itself. This can bring on codependency and fears of going it alone. Both Libra and Taurus are signs best supported in some form of partnership, but it does not necessarily have to be romantic or marriage. Venus is the lesser Neptune. Love, romance, and art are her domains, yet she doesn't get lost in them and lose her practical side. In fact, Venus is the planet of fashion, luxuries, balance, symmetry, artistic ability, and sugary foods. And she prefers to overlook the ugliness of the world. So I definitely feel like a lot of Taurians and Librans are also going to resonate possibly with this reading. This one technically, though, it's not a reading, as well as the one the one from yesterday and the one from this rising. It says buying objects that are beautiful, unnecessary, or excessive may come into play when this card is drawn. So be careful of wasting funds on items just because you want them. See, that's making me think about that King of Pentacles energy that came out last minute in today's general rising reading. I was saying be careful of overindulgence and being greedy and stuff like that, okay? It says you may feel compelled to buy something beyond your budget because you think it's beautiful while you really don't need it. On the other hand, you may be attracting these very things on your own. Venus also rules money, especially money shared in a partnership or a marriage, but this could also be a business enterprise as well. Money worries should find resolution. So that means where there was once a struggle, or where there was once blockages or hiccups when it came to finances, now that's not going to happen. Y'all, the messages are steadily, they're just, okay, moving on. It says art, hair salons, restaurants, movies, concerts, dance recitals, craft shows, cosmetics, and fashion may figure in. You may be dealing with artists or people who work in the arts. You may discover a more creative and artistic side to yourself. It says Venus is the most humane and fair of the planets, so you may be asked or feel compelled to settle a dispute. Courts, law, and judgments may factor in. But more than this card indicates either a new love coming into your life, or the improvement or a new start for an older love relationship. So when the Venus card presents itself in a reading, the first thing to focus on is romance and love. But after that, creativity and refinement. You can be assured that you are found very attractive at the present time and maybe the subject of some advances. If so, romance becomes playful and even childlike. It is time for full heart blessings. If a relationship begins, it will have more of a sense of contentment and happiness to it. Unless the Saturn card comes up in the spread, but that didn't happen here, as y'all know. So, and it says, I'll leave it right there. It says Venus is the planet of charmers, so you may want to pour on the charm in a situation. There is a tendency to become more socially engaging at this time. Oh, more socially engaging. And then it also says at this time, people will generally just be sweeter, more helpful, and amenable. It is a good period to smooth ruffled feathers or make peace with others. Using diplomacy will serve you well at this time. Y'all, again, that is both for romantic relationships, business partnerships, family, friends. I definitely feel like y'all need to watch yesterday's reading and watch today's reading. Yeah. Last but not least, we got the Mercury, the Mind card. Look at this beautiful shit here. The bookmark says victory, victory. Another 10, omnipresence of the Most High, completion. This is beautiful. Here we go. Let's get it. 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 Mercury, the planet of intelligence and talking, is the closest planet to the sun, also making it the fastest planet to move through the zodiac. The Mercury card suggests you must put effort behind your talk. So no more just talking, time to finally put in action, which I also said in this Rising's reading. Let's keep it pushing. When the Mercury card presents itself in a reading, it is time to use all of your mental faculties to get your point across. Words and how you use them are very significant. It may mark a period where you either have to talk your way out of something or talk your way into something. Whatever the reason or occurrence, how you communicate through writing or speaking is of the utmost importance here. Composition, writing, or editing may also figure in. It is not a time to stay static or to sit still. Beware of gossip and other scandals. The important thing to remember is that what you say in this situation can and will be used against you, so choose your words wisely. The planet Mercury also rules over technology, so if your question is about career or a job, then you can be certain mastering some newer form of technology is about to come into play. Since Mercury is the planet of speed, you can expect to see fast development. Ooh. So what I'm feeling from that energy is that basically because Mercury showed up in this particular reading, all of this energy that has been represented by every card will be happening quickly, suddenly even. Whew. It says regarding romance or relationships, it can mean that friendship is the best option for you now. The time has not yet ripened to enter a relationship with the person. It says you may attract partners and perhaps friends who are non emotional, highly rational, and objective. These lovers or friends may be offended by flip remarks or joking over serious matters. It says you may become involved with someone who double talks, is witty, but who does not emotionally connect. This is also the card of brothers and sisters as well as twins. Now marks a period which involves observation, reasoning, taking things apart and then putting them back together as they were in your own order. It is a time of flighty emotions and matters developing really quickly. It says Mercury also signifies travels, maps, and staying in movement. So you may be going on a trip, a more noteworthy vacation than the usual trips that you take. The matter in question is best served by using intellect weighing the matter, being reasonable, and also being spontaneous in your responses. Codes and forms of magic may also figure in because Mercury brings on keen awareness, so use your mind and what you know to the fullest in this matter. This is the Magician card. Oh, this is too much resonating, guys. With that, this is all the messages that came forth, okay, from this rising reading. I hope and pray that this gives people more insight, those who are interested, okay? I love you guys with the love of the most high. Peace, love, light, and darkness, working to bring balance within and harmony within ourselves first and within our world. Bye, you guys.